Welcome back to Summit Sunrise here on TV8 Summit. I'm Ashley, and I'm hanging out with Steve from Lake Dillon Fire Rescue, and we're here to talk about wildfire season.
It's hard to believe because we've got snow coming down today, but we are just around the corner from wildfire season. In fact, there was one just in our neighboring Park County over the weekend. And
a wildfire?
A wildfire.
That is hard to believe, especially with all the snow, and I didn't even hear about it.
Right, well, it was in a very rural area, but their fire department had to reply to it. So we are definitely thinking wildfire already. Our fire crews have been training and preparing for wildfire season, making sure all of the equipment is still where it's supposed to be and functioning. And to that end, we certainly want to plant the seed, so to speak, in our residents' minds that it's a good time for them to be preparing for wildfire as well. There are a few things that they could be doing right now that would help as we go into the wildfire season. For instance, preparing an emergency evacuation kit and keeping it in the car with things like a change of clothing, toothbrush,
flashlights, anything. I saw a little wildfire kit, someone put cash in it too.
A little bit of cash, because who knows if you're evacuated and you don't get a chance to grab your wallet or your purse. One thing that people often forget is pet food. Right. You're going to grab your dog or your cat, they're going to need to eat. So I throw in a little bag of pet food in there. If you've got kids, some coloring books and activity books are very helpful. If you're evacuated, you could be out for a couple of days. Even if your home isn't immediately imperiled, lots of times we'll try to evacuate areas just as a precaution, and because when there are not people in the way, then we can worry about structure protection and not saving lives. Right. So definitely prepare a wildfire kit. At home, check to make sure that your insurance is up to date and accurately reflects the property that you own. I definitely recommend going around with a digital camera and documenting all of your valuable items, furniture, artwork, anything that you might have to prove to an insurance company that you own. And then finally, I also say scan and keep digitally all of your photos from your photo albums and from your digital files, because
no one wants to lose those memories.
Exactly, and that's the one thing, you can replace the 60-inch screen TV with your insurance, but you can't replace those irreplaceable photos. So all of that stuff that you've captured digitally, then you need to store somewhere not in that house, obviously. You want to store it online somewhere or on a disk in a safe deposit box, someplace off-site, so that if the worst disaster happens, whether it's a wildfire or a house fire or who knows what, that you can recapture those fragments of your life that otherwise are irreplaceable.
I feel like, we tend to think that maybe that would never happen to us, but we know that there's a huge wildfire right now in Alberta and Canada.
Correct.
A lot of people have been evacuated, and we live in a mountain region. And like you said, there was already a wildfire over in Park County, so it's definitely possible, and people should take these steps. Tell me a little bit about defensible space and what that means.
So defensible space is the area around the home or any structure that has the vegetation managed in such a way that the wildfire won't approach it. So it's lots of times thinning. It doesn't necessarily have to be leveling and clear cutting everything, but breaking up the vegetation so that fire doesn't go from one bush to one tree to another tree to your house, and doesn't have a direct line from where a wildfire may be. So we advocate creating defensible space around every home. In fact, it's required now for all new homes in Summit County, no matter where they are.
Okay.
The idea is just give us some room into which we can put firefighters to protect your house.
And there's a picture there right on the screen.
Right.
Just give you a little example. And we are running out of time, Steve, so I just want to know, where can people find more information, that picture of defensible space?
Sure. I would recommend folks go to our website, which is ldfr.org, www.ldfr.org.
Well, it stands for Lake Dillon Fire Rescue.
You got it.
Okay.
And there's a whole wildfire section on there with all sorts of information, checklists of what you should have in your kit, that type of thing.
Perfect. Well, very important stuff. Steve, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Well, thanks for having me, and it's funny to be talking about wildfire now, but we need to be thinking about it.
Right, absolutely. Well, folks, thanks so much for watching Summit Sunrise today here on TV8 Summit. We will be back with another live show on Friday for our weekend edition of Summit Sunrise. So tune in again on Friday morning at 8 a.m. for our next live show. And of course, this show will be available again every single morning until then at 8 a.m. We'll see you next time. Have a fantastic day.